When you're already at the top, where do you go next? For over a decade, the iPhone has sat at the pinnacle of the smartphone world. Every new iPhone iteration brings familiar upgrades, faster chips, better cameras, sleeker designs. At this point, Apple's formula has been refined to near perfection. So where does the iPhone go from here? What comes after you've reached the peak? That is the challenge facing Apple with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. When you're already at the top, what more is there to improve or reinvent? The early iPhone 16 Pro Max rumors suggest Apple isn't resting on their laurels. Talk of satellite connectivity, always-on displays, and game-changing camera tech point to pioneering innovations on the horizon. Will this next Pro Max push the boundaries of what an iPhone can do into uncharted territory? Let's dig into those leaks and speculate how Apple could shake up the smartphone world once again with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. First up, massive changes coming to the rear cameras. Renders suggest the iPhone 16 Pro Max will rock a completely new vertical triple camera setup instead of the diagonal layout we've had the past few years. The two main camera lenses will sit in individual pill-shaped cutouts rather than a single square bump, and they'll be stacked vertically rather than angled diagonally. Personally, we dig the new look. It helps the iPhone stand out from all those Android phones with similar diagonal camera blocks. This new dual-pill layout will likely house the main wide and ultra-wide lenses. The telephoto camera and LiDAR scanner may sit in smaller cutouts alongside. We hear this new camera design will also enable Apple's rumored Satellite Emergency (SOS) feature to connect to satellites and call for help when outside of cell service. Pretty awesome if true. The next big change coming to all iPhone 16 Pro models? Say goodbye to the old mute switch and hello to a brand new action button. This customizable key will let you map shortcuts for different tap and hold gestures. For example, you could make a double tap launch the camera app or have a hold activate Siri. The possibilities are endless. On older iPhones, the mute switch was handy but pretty limited. We love the idea of having a whole extra button you can customize to your heart's content. Bring on the action button. Of course, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will rock Apple's latest and greatest mobile processor, expected to be called the A18 chip. Rumors suggest it could use an enhanced 3-nanometer process for even better power efficiency and performance. Early leaks point to CPU speeds bumped 18 to 20% versus the A17. The super-fast A18 chip will likely outpace even the best that Android silicone can offer. The Pro Max model may also get 8 GB of RAM, up from 6 GB in the iPhone 15 Pro Max. That extra memory will let you keep more apps and browser tabs open without slowdowns. We can't wait to see how the A18 chip tears through graphically intensive games and apps. Display upgrades may be subtle, but still important. The iPhone 16 Pro Max screen will likely stay at 6.7 inches, but with new tech enhancements behind the scenes. One rumor points to a new OLED material that uses micro lenses to increase brightness by amplifying light output. This could boost peak brightness beyond the iPhone 15 Pro's 1600 nits max without gulping extra battery power. We'd also love to see Apple ramp up refresh rates beyond the current 120 Hz ProMotion. Smoother animations and scrolling are always welcome. A more durable ceramic shield front cover would also be nice. One limitation of current iPhones is that they don't support the latest and fastest Wi-Fi 6E standard. This changes with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Wi-Fi 6E takes advantage of newly opened 6 GHz bands for less interference and blazing fast data speeds. We're talking potential peak speeds around 1 GB per second. Of course, this requires pairing with one of the newest Wi-Fi 6E routers. But for those with compatible networks, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will finally offer wireless speeds to match its premium price. iPhone 16 Pro Max mock-up floating over a Wi-Fi router. A potential life-saving new safety feature rumored for the iPhone 16 Pro Max: satellite emergency connectivity. In areas without cellular service, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will reportedly be able to connect directly to satellites and beam out an emergency SOS. Helpful if you ever get stranded off the grid in the backcountry. Rumors suggest it will work similar to Garmin InReach devices, sending text messages, relaying your emergency directly to first responders. Of course, we hope to never need to use this. but it's nice peace of mind when adventuring far from civilization. Battery life is always a pain point with phones, but word is the iPhone 16 Pro Max will pack a larger battery capacity, possibly around 5,000 mAh versus the 4,422 mAh cell in the iPhone 15 Pro Max. More juice paired with that new power-efficient A18 chip could translate to some solid gains in battery endurance. We'd love to see 12-plus hours of typical usage per charge. Fast charging tech will hopefully improve too, though Apple still lags behind many Android devices here. Fingers crossed. This upgrade is easy to overlook, but just as important, much improved internal microphones. The 4 mics inside the iPhone 16 Pro Max are getting an overhaul with higher signal-to-noise ratios. This allows them to pick up voices way more accurately against background noise. You'll notice this right away with Siri requests. But clearer call quality and vastly improved dictation transcription are other big benefits, especially in noisy environments. Let's hear it for quality mics. The iPhone camera system is always a huge focus for Apple, and the iPhone 16 Pro Max will bring a boatload of imaging upgrades. First up, rumors suggest the main wide-angle camera will jump to a 48-megapixel sensor, up from 12 megapixels in the iPhone 15 Pro Max. This allows for pixel binning, where multiple pixels combine into one for a 12-megapixel image with less noise and richer detail. The 5x telephoto lens may also level up to 8 megapixels with a periscope design that could enable an extended 6x optical zoom range. That's double the 3x optical zoom in the current iPhone 15 Pro Max telephoto. Bring on the close-ups. Optics also look set for an upgrade. We may see the main camera sport a wider f1.2 aperture to let in way more light. This would be a huge boon for night shots and indoor photography. Low-light performance should get a major boost. Video skills expand too. Look for 8K recording at 30 frames per second, 4K video at a silky smooth 240 frames per second for slow motion and next-gen tilt-shift image stabilization. With faster sensors and advanced processing, the iPhone 16 Pro Max could become an incredibly capable cinema rig in your pocket. Even the front-facing selfie cam may see tweaks, possibly sticking with 12 megapixels but adding faster autofocus and a wider aperture for selfie portraits. Apple has a pretty predictable iPhone launch schedule, so we can make some educated guesses about when the iPhone 16 Pro Max will make its debut. If Apple follows its usual September timeline, we can expect them to unveil the iPhone 16 lineup in early September 2024. The actual release date, where you can buy one, tends to fall 2 or 3 weeks after the announcement, likely in late September 2024. Pricing will remain up in premium territory, as befitting Apple's top-of-the-line flagship. The iPhone 15 Pro Max launched at a starting price of $1,199. So we expect the iPhone 16 Pro Max to land somewhere in the same $1,299 to $1,399 range. With all the cutting-edge tech rumored to be packed into the iPhone 16 Pro Max, that premium pricing will come as no shock. For those who want the absolute best iOS phone around, Apple will surely continue commanding those 4-figure prices. Thankfully, trade-in offers can help offset the cost a bit. Well, that sums up the biggest rumored features and changes coming to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. There are a ton of exciting upgrades in the works if rumors pan out. It looks poised to set a new high bar for premium smartphones yet again. The iPhone 16 Pro Max could deliver Apple's biggest camera innovations in years, along with their most powerful mobile chip yet. Of course, details may shift as we get closer to launch. We'll keep tracking those iPhone 16 Pro Max rumors into 2024 and beyond. But based on what we know so far, the stage is set for Apple to drop its best iPhone ever. What feature or specs are you most pumped for? Let us know.